You know, what they're doing is they're so worried about Larry Fitzgerald when he goes inside that they're letting these flats go to the outside. You see, they're going here and they're doubling Fitzgerald, and they have everyone out there. And then when you get the running back, whether it's Hightower or it's Edgerrin James or whoever, then that's going to be wide open.
The Cardinals have one timeout left in the half. 2nd and 10. Warner throws, and finally number 11, Fitzgerald, makes the catch. Sooner or later, it took 29 minutes and a few seconds, but Fitzgerald makes the catch. It's 11 yards and a first down.
They do so many different things. I mean, early on they had Troy walking over, collision me at the line of scrimmage, and they would drop Ike deep. So they were just doing a lot of different things.
It was just kind of giving maybe Larry the idea that there's always going to be somebody in his face. We always wanted to play downhill, so we were playing really deep today.
Fitzgerald with 5 touchdowns in postseason, all in the first half. 43 seconds. Warner from the gun sends Hightower into the slot. 5 receivers go into the pattern. Over the middle, the catch is made at the 5-yard line. That's Bolden, who gets banged down by Timmons. Up they come. Clock is running. Each team with one timeout. Half a minute left in the half. 2nd and 3. Swing it to the outside. Here's Bolden. He's going to get the first down. That's going to take it to the 2-yard line. Clock continues to roll. They look over to the bench, and Wisenhunt will take his final timeout. So 18 seconds as they burn their final timeout. And it will be first down and goal at the 2. He's got Bolden and Fitzgerald to the left. He's got Breston to the right. 18 seconds.
Well, they can pick down here.
From the gun, Steelers show blitz. Here they come. He gets it away, and it's picked off at the goal line. There's a flag thrown on the run back. James Harrison to run it back, and Harrison is past midfield. Harrison going down the sideline. Harrison still on his feet. Harrison is going to go all the way and waiting for the official to get there. Touchdown is signaled. A flag is down on the run back at the 9-yard line.
Prior to the pass, personal foul, grasping the face mask. Offense number 74. The foul occurred during the last time down. The touchdown counts.
Unbelievable. Harrison completely gassed. The call is on Reggie Wells. It's a 100-yard interception return.
Look at him. You know that you have to protect against James Harrison because he's such a great pass rusher. On that play, he faked like he was going to rush the passer, and he dropped back into the lane and then made this run. Unbelievable.
It's the longest play in Super Bowl history. It's a 100-yard interception return. The question, too, is he in? Remember, there's no challenge. There's no challenge. It has to come from the booth. Wow. And they will look at it. I guarantee you that. So think of it this way. It's either a touchdown or it's the end of the half. They don't even have another play. So if they rule the play over, the half is over. And it would be a 3-point game instead of going on a 10-point game. One more time.
You look at a guy who's really enjoying his oxygen.
After review,
Here he is,
the ruling
right
on the
here.
field stands. Touchdown.
They have signaled, you can tell by the crowd reaction, that it is a touchdown. Because the ball is on Fitzgerald's leg and is not down on the ground as the Defensive Player of the Year gets into the end zone.
They actually brought an all-out blitz. He faked like he was coming, and then he bounced out, and I wasn't able to see him over top of my lineman, so I thought I had 2-on-2 coverage. I thought I had a crease for Anquan and tried to throw it in there, and James had popped out and did a great job of not only making the catch, but making a tremendous return after that.
When NFL Replay returns, the Cardinals will have the ball to start the final 30 minutes of the 2008 NFL season.
On game day, when I'm riding in my car, when I get within about a mile or so of the stadium and you see the people, everybody in their jerseys, getting ready to root for our football team, that's one of the things that makes this job exciting.
Kate's texting us from her dinner with Jeff.
He brought her flowers. Oh.
He took her to Chez Francois.
Nice. He went to Jared.
He went to Jared.
Jared has 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores, from the classic to the contemporary, so you'll find the perfect gift every time.
It's for you.
Do you have brothers?
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Worst case scenario. With only soggy schematics from your subcontractor, your shutoff valve installation is somewhat sketchy. Best case solution, the small business specialist at your Verizon wireless store.
I need a wireless data solution so I can download critical info instantly on site with America's largest 3G network.
Now get a free UM175 USB modem, the Verizon Wireless Small Business Toolbox, brought to you by the Small Business Specialists.
Carol, when you replaced Casual Friday with Nordic Tuesday, was it really for fun or to save money on heat?
Why, don't you think Nordic Tuesday's fun?
Oh, no, it's fun.
You know, if you're trying to cut costs, FedEx can help. We've got express options, fast ground and freight service. You could save money and keep the heat on.
Great idea.
That's a great idea.
Well, if Nordic Tuesday wasn't so much fun.
We understand you need to save money. FedEx.
The Suzuki SX4 Sport has a unique pop-up Navi system, a roomy cabin, 30 miles per gallon highway, and more horsepower than the Honda Civic LX, all for under $16,000. So we can pretty much assure you'll have a great time in it. But once you're out of it, you're on your own. The Suzuki SX4. Live large, drive small. Suzuki. Now get 0% financing on all 2008 Suzuki Sport and Sedan models. Hurry in.
Well, after I got divorced, I was feeling a little burned. I didn't think that I was ever going to find a person that I could really fall in love with again. And my sisters actually said to me, why don't you try eHarmony? It looks a little more serious. And I was a little skeptical, but lo and behold, I found Karen, and it's just better than I could ever have imagined.
See how it feels to be matched based on compatibility. Review all your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
We'll get you back to NFL Replay, the Steelers and Cards in Super Bowl 43 in just a moment. But first, after weeks of speculation, the Raiders finally introduced Tom Cable as their new head coach. Cable said he's looking forward to the challenge.
I look forward to getting to work and working hard towards bringing a championship to Oakland, something that is dear to all of us, dear to this city, and it's something that we'll set out to do beginning now.
And staying in the AFC West, Chiefs running back Larry Johnson says he wants out of Kansas City. Here's what he had to say earlier today.
No sense of delaying the inevitable, and just, I just think it's time for us to break ties, and, they can go on and find what they want.
Right after NFL Total Access, it's the National Signing Day show tonight at 8 Eastern. Find out where the next class of college football freshmen will suit up next season.
The story of the first half was the Steelers' ability to control the clock, holding the ball for over 5 minutes longer than the Cardinals. Trading interceptions on the final 2 drives, however, proved to be more costly for Arizona. James Harrison set a Super Bowl record with the 100-yard interception return for a touchdown to end the half, giving the Steelers the 17-7 lead. Now back to the action here on NFL Replay as the Cardinals start the second half with the ball.
Ezra and James in the backfield with Warner. Stepping up is Kurt. Over the middle, it's a short gain. Pass is caught there by Anquan Bolden. 2nd and 6. They're going to run a draw here, and James is going to slip a tackle in the backfield and take it up to the 37-yard line. So Edgerrin James almost got taken down before he could get out of the backfield. Kiesel was there, picks up a first down, gain of 9. From the 37. Edgerrin again. And that running game, which was dead last in the league in the regular season, coming alive in postseason. It's going to be important here. Larry Foote makes the tackle, gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Fitzgerald flanked wide to the right. They send Breston in motion to the other side of the formation. Edgerrin James again cuts it back, fights for a first down, may have it. Harrison is there to make the stop after Farrier knocked him down. Bolden and Fitzgerald coming out of the same spot on the right side. They swing it out to James across the 50, and then he's taken down here by Lawrence Timmons, a yard into Pittsburgh territory. 3rd and 6. Warner stepping up, gets hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. And that time it was James Farrier who came in to jar it. And they may have, now the question is, do they call it a completed pass or not?
I haven't seen him call it anything yet.
No, James Harrison is the guy who came up with the ball, and he has it. It's a turnover, and it's Harrison again. And Warner's going to go over to the bench and say, I think we need to challenge this. Does Warner have control of the ball as he comes forward with it, trying to throw it, trying to pass it? This is not the Tuck rule. He's not trying to put it back in. He's trying to throw it. He's trying to get the pass away. He gets hit by Farrier. Here comes the call from McCauley after the challenge.
Yeah, that'll be an incomplete pass.
After review, the quarterback had control of the football and his arm was going forward. It's an incomplete pass.
Next on NFL Replay, Big Ben and the Steelers get the ball for the first time of the second half.
What'll it be? Box or hanger? Paper or plastic? Yellow, blue, purple, or pink? This is America. There are easy choices. And then there's what to do with your hard-earned money. That's a tough one. Bank of America has special savings products like risk-free CDs and money market savings to keep it safe and growing. Want to make the smart choice? You can at Bank of America. Bank of Opportunity.
The relationship you have with your car isn't so different from your other relationships. Some burn hot and fast, but don't last very long. Some burn for a while, but don't throw much heat. And some smolder beautifully for a long, long time.
This month on DirecTV Pay-Per-View.
My name is Shelly, and I'm here to be your house mother.
We're about to lose our charter.
By the time I'm done, every girl on campus will want to pledge Zeta.
Ah! That's hot!
My family has been known to prey on the weak.
Give me a call.
Are you having an affair with Mr. Cartwright? Don't be stupid.
You like carrying a gun? There's nothing wrong with a little shooting as long as the right people get shot. We got a predicament.
DirecTV Pay-Per-View. Just press a button and you're watching your movie.
Moving day is here, the most dreaded of days. Packing, unpacking, your mind in a haze. DirecTV knows how stressful moving can be, so we make keeping your entertainment both easy and free. For uninterrupted service of the shows you like best, just leave the dish behind and we'll handle the rest. Simply dial 877-616-MOVE and we'll throw in 3 months of HBO Stars and Showtime for free.
from the 28-yard line. It's Willie Parker who slips down at the 15-yard line. Willie Parker, feet coming out from under him. Chicky O'Keefer and Adrian Wilson were there. Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Ben from the gun. You've got 4 receivers set to the left there. And he goes to the right side, which you're very often prone to do. They had a 4-by-1. A flag comes in at the end of the play. Holmes close to a first down. Run out by Dominic Rogers-Cromartie.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense number 29. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So 7 plus 15, that's a 22-yard play at the 36-yard line. Roethlisberger was 12 of 15 for 136 in the first half. Willie Parker was the running back. Ben to the right side to the 42-yard line. That's the tight end making the catch with Carlos Dansby in on it. Matt Spaeth making the catch right there. Crowd, the Steeler crowd thought it was Heath Miller. Parker is going to get taken down about 2 yards short of the first down. Chicky O'Keefer, 10th year in the league, makes the stop. 3rd down and a long one. Pressure from the backside and the pass, and there's exactly the situation you want him in. Hines Ward, coverage pretty good by Roderick Hood, comes away with a huge smile as he's prone to do, and Ben returns the grin. Roethlisberger chased. Look at Ben keeping the play alive and at least turning what would have been a 15-yard sack into maybe an incompletion, but he was in the pocket.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, and now you got roughing the passer.
Number 58. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Carlos Dansby, of all things, Roethlisberger keeps the play alive, gets rid of it, and then Dansby with a personal foul.
I felt that we were playing clean, that we were playing hard, that our players were working to make plays against a very good football team. And it was discouraging to see the number of flags that came out against us just because it hurt us. It allowed them to sustain drives defensively.
That was close.
Yeah, you know, you got a quarterback who's all over the place. You never know when the play is over. And now you're asking the guy to put the brakes on.
Right, and he's so big and strong that you have to run through him and you have to get him to the ground, and that's a tough thing. And then if he throws it, you have to pull up quickly. I don't think that was a bad one on Dansby.
2-yard loss. O'Keefer is there, taking down Willie Parker behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11. Holmes on a quick flip, cuts back inside to the 21-yard line. One right inside Rogers-Cromartie. 15 yards and another first down.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something with Rogers-Cromartie. Either he has to get up closer and hit him, or they have to give him help. Get a linebacker coming out underneath, because if he plays off like this, they'll just keep throwing the ball out there to Santonio Holmes. The Cardinals don't have a defensive answer for that.
Second and 9. Parker again. Big hole inside the 10. And then he gets down to the 5-yard line. He's down. The ball came out, but not until the play was over. In behind the guard, Kemayatu, who pulls out and provides the escort.
You want to see a real good block by a tight end? Watch number 83 on this one, Al. Heath Miller. He's right here. I mean, he comes there and he just gets underneath the shoulder pads, picks him up, puts him on his back, and when you get a block like that, you have to have a pretty big run. I think the most underrated guy on this Pittsburgh offense is Heath Miller. He does more things than any one person.
Toss. Parker can't cut it back. Taken down by Carlos Dansby. It'll be 2nd down and goal with 4.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. 11th play of the drive. Good mix. They've had 6 rushes, 4 passes. The backfield is empty. Good pocket, and then it's dropped. Good protection. Heath Miller over the middle, couldn't hold on, and says to Ben, that's on me. Big stop here for the Cardinal defense. Holding to a field goal. It's a 2-possession lead for Pittsburgh. They score a touchdown. It's 3 possessions. Moreldi Moore is in the backfield with him. Roethlisberger tries to escape, and he just flings it into the area outside the 5-yard line because Bertrand Berry put the ball on, put the pressure on him. Now McCauley.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket. The ball got past the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
Pittsburgh to put it down. And reach kick is good, but there's a flag down. There's a flag down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 24 ran over the holder. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Gigantic call. He ran into Berger.
The book is very clear that there's 3 types of roughness penalties you can have: roughing the passer, roughing the kicker, roughing the holder. He is defenseless. A lot of time he's a backup kicker, or he is the place kicker or a backup quarterback and needs to be protected. The fouling player was not coming off a block. It was contact that merited unnecessary roughness, but indeed unusual.
And of all guys to do it, a guy in his 8th year, leader of the team, in a terrible situation where now he puts his defense in the hole again, and they have to come up with a goal line stand. Parker is the setback. 1st and goal. 3 personal fouls by Arizona on this drive. Parker. 2 of them, no doubt. One of them, the one on Dansby, maybe. Who knows?
If we get 7 right here, it's over, man.
Call the split left. He comes in motion now. They'll run a pick on that side. Instead of roll to the right. The ball is batted in the air, and it is almost intercepted. Chike O'Keefer was able to bat it. Carey Davis was there. The fullback, Antrell Roll, almost came up with the interception. 3rd and goal, 2:49. Moreldi Moore is the back. Roethlisberger out of the gun. Ben's going to run it on a quarterback draw, but he won't be able to get past the 3-yard line. That's Gabe Watson who comes in, and what a job. If Arizona is to come from behind, they can thank their defense for doing it twice. This is a 21-yard attempt for Reed. Berger holding. And that kick is good.
Next on NFL Replay, the Cardinals will have 87 yards to go, desperate to cut down the Steelers' 13-point lead.
Physical education is disappearing from schools across America. That's why NFL Network has created Keep Gym in School.
Improving facilities, funding teachers' salaries, and inspiring kids towards a lifetime of fitness.
Don't let gym disappear. Keep gym in school.
Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius XM. 69 commercial-free music channels. The most talk, news, and entertainment. Every major sport. New programming, new choices, new prices. Over 130 channels. Add the best of Sirius to your XM subscription or the best of XM to your Sirius subscription free for 3 months. Hear what over 35 million listeners can't get enough of. Sirius XM.
Did you know KFC's original recipe whole chicken is delivered fresh?
How do I know? I'm the cook here. There's one of us in every KFC.
Bringing you the freshest value in fast food with the unbeatable feast. Dinner for $5, just $3 each.
After a long discussion with my friends and my family, I've decided to sign with the Cleveland Browns, baby.
LeBron James is done in the sports world.
LeBron electrifies football.
Unbelievable. Yeah, number 1.
LeBron, you gonna miss the bus.
LeBron,
Wake up. Everybody's on the bus.
When I'm there for the best day of the week, State Farm's there.
Let's go.
National Car Rental? That's my choice. Because with National, I roll past the counter and choose any car in the aisle. Choosing your own car? Now that's a good call.
Go National. Go like a pro.
I love playing basketball. I gotta play. I've been playing for 50 years. I'm not gonna stop now. The biggest pain issue I have is my left knee. A lot of times after I played, even sometimes when I haven't played, my knee aches. By taking the Aleve, I know that the pain is going to be greatly reduced or even completely gone during the game.
Only 2 Aleve can stop pain all day. That would take twice as many Advil or 4 times as many Tylenol.
Hi, my name is Richard Miller, and with Aleve, I'll never stop playing.
Right now, we may have to go today. We may have to go no huddle. We get this ball back, we may have to kick it into no huddle. Hold up on the pro, good on the turn. Stay with it, they'll come right back. Hey, this is where we take our stand at right here. Let's take our stand, baby. Let's go. 11:30 left, fourth quarter. Steelers by 13. This drive starts at the 13-yard line. Warner over the middle, that's caught. Preston makes the catch. Gain of 12. Again, Larry Fitzgerald tonight, just one catch. His father, well-known story, got in a lot of pub this week, and there he is, the senior Fitzgerald, who writes a weekly column and has for years in a Minneapolis newspaper. He's also been a radio host for a number of years and chronicling his son tonight, but hoping that he's going to get a little bit better story than he has at this point. From the 25, Warner throws over the middle, wide open there is Jeremy Urban.
I think the second half, we just went to our signal packages. Is when you line up on the line of scrimmage and wait till the time clock goes down a little bit so they got to show their hand and what kind of coverage they're going to play. And Kurt has a variety of packages and passes we can go to. I mean, we probably got 40 plays, 50 plays that we can run, in that set. So whatever defense they were going to put on us, we could counter it with a play that was going to be able to beat it. So we had some success with it.
Warner hit as he throws, gets it away, short gain. Taylor and Townsend take care of Fitzgerald, finally making the catch.
Look at how deep these safeties are back here. That's why they're not getting anything deep, because those two safeties are not letting you get deep.
Second and 4, and underneath, the pass goes to J.J. Arrington, their third down back. So Arrington hasn't played that much until now. Was bothered by a tweaked knee, makes the catch, 22-yard gain, and all of a sudden Arizona in business at the 28.
And you give Kurt Warner an opening, he's going to find it with those safeties that deep. Look how open the middle is. Look at his eyes here. I mean, he sees it. He sees those safeties deep. He knows if they're that deep and taking away that outside stuff, I am going to have a check down in the middle.
Drive started back at the 13-yard line, quickly downfield, pass caught. Fitzgerald will pick up a first down. You see the flag that came in, and Larry takes the ball inside the 10-yard line. But another penalty. We've had 96 yards of penalties on Arizona and 15 against Pittsburgh.
Part of the pass, holding, defense, number 24. Penalties decline, first down.
Take the play.
We spread them out a little bit. And we were able to kind of put them on their heels a little bit with our receivers and, had some success.
At the 10, first down and goal. Warner perfect on this drive, which has consumed only 2.5 minutes and has gone 77 yards. And then the pass to the outside, Fitzgerald makes the catch, and Fitzgerald is ridden down by Ike Taylor at the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal for the Cardinals. Father and son, Larry's caught 3 passes on this drive. Also, they brought in Jeremy Urban and J.J. Arrington, who barely played until this drive. They went to the no huddle, and all of those things have put them in a position to get right back in it. Second down and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. Warner